Hello, 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 hello. Hi, Tomo. Alright. So, apparently this section is like 8 hours. So this week I'm trying to break it up a bit so that I'm not dying and that I'm not keeping Kiro awake too late on Friday. So, let us step on into it. I think I tried checking online just to make sure, and it seems like it is 4 parts. Like if I looked at like a bare bones thing to explain how long it was, it seems like it was 4 parts. Alright, here we go. When I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets, and so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. Okay, so Susato-san's just straight up not in this case with us. That's very interesting. Like, she's just straight on gone. Like, they said that was happening, but I wasn't really expecting it to completely fall through, so damn. Oh, right, I have to speak. Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it.
So, where is your friend then?
Sorry?
You know, in the fancy dress? Susato or however you say it, I don't know.
Ah, Mrs. Sato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up.
You alright with that, are you? Forgot about me if you like. Go and see her off.
It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again one day.
Even so.
But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning to you? Oh, good morning, you two. Is it Sholmes? Oh no, it's her. It's Iris.
How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? Meow. Iris, what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Ah, Waggy.
Great way to show your support, kitty.
Let him out of a nose around. What I'm gonna do? Oh, that reminds me. I brought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Runo? Ginny?
Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first.
Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities.
Let's not go there.
Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move.
Huh? The bad news was a weather report?
So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port.
Gosh, yeah.
Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Huh? That is good news, isn't it? I couldn't give a monkey's, really.
If only all good news canceled out the bad.
And look, this trial made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in purse plunder. See? How do you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if I care. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry. Reno will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense.
I will?
And then, in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be Discharge driver is not less do-gooder. Isn't that right, you know?
Oh, yes. Let's hope so.
Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it?
It's like she was still here. Okay, so that's added to the court record.
Good luck then, Reno. I'll do what I can.
Hmm?
Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement.
I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest. But thank you, Iris. It's very kind of you.
Oh yeah, Iris? Yes, Ginny? Well, I was wondering is all about Sholmes. Did they fix him up alright? Yes, the operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up.
I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news.
Oh, right?
No, Susato-san and no, Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today, to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel of the defense, the trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom.
It's time then.
Yes. Let's go, Gina. Iris?
Lead the way, Runo.
Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready.
Lord Van Zieks,
My lord.
remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service?
It was some 5 years ago, my lord.
Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of his society and government.
Really?
Yet today you chose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess it more than a little befuddling counsel.
There are two types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large.
He means Mr. McGilded, who defended against the Reaper 2 months ago.
Yes, I just about managed to work that out. Thanks. Magnus McGilded. If I had known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those willy scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, the Nipponese. What? Did he really just say that?
He means you now, Runo.
I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal. What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all Japanese people?
An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors, I mean.
Your lordship is too kind.
Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt of or innocence of the defendant?
So that's the guy from the second case. That's the lady made from the first case. I don't know who that guy is. Third one is the old man from the second case. That's the same one from the first lady from the first one, but she's not on her typewriter. She's on a telegraph this time. And then the last guy is just the Russian spy from the boat that like you learn about in the newspaper. The fuck?
Former lieutenant in the British Army here, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready.
Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it.
I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But could I have?
Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop.
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing.
I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please.
Is something wrong, Runo?
Oh, not exactly. It's just, I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact.
Really? Funny, coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know.
So I've been led to believe. But something tells me I'm being duped.
Very well. Now, Lord Van Zeeks, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case.
As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner, his report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say.
Oh.
The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord.
Indeed. The court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please.
Alright, you got the autopsy report. And the crime scene photo. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry. A door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet.
Well, that's that then, isn't it?
Nothing more to say.
Isn't that grubby little good old pickpocket anyway? She's one of those fishy drabs you lose in the slums in the East End.
Oh well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then.
Then what are the jurors waiting for?
We can't jump to conclusions here! We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive! My learned Nipponese friend. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses.
Good gracious!
After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pickpurse, or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth.
The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Six.
At once, my lord. Alright, so we got the crime scene photo. And we got the revolver. This isn't good.
I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Reno.
I think that's because it has. Oh, he's already doing the cape. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on 16th of April this year. Alright, so who are we working with? Oh my god, these 2. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. What the heck do I even use for these guys?
Name's Nash Skulkin. Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is, Betty. Professional Betty. Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation's, same as him. Tobias Gregson. Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right, That's right. Yeah, we're not we're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers.
What? 3?
What are you looking at me for? Don't let me in with the. Don't lump me in with you lot.
I keep forgetting what accents I used.
God blimey, that is cold. Don't you know what we're going through?
I heard the bruv. Lost contact with him we have. So we're scouring every shady corner of the capital.
You know what, actually, let me do, like, Waluigi and, like, Wario or something, maybe.
And then last night we came across you. The very spit of the bloke, ain't that right, Ringo?
Why, we is nice, he is. He is nice, he is. The very spit of him.
So we decided here, and then what is he gonna do? We was gonna call you.
I'm fucking forgetting these two accents so quickly.
Big bruv Skokie.
Come on, leave it out, you two.
Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he's run out of ships.
Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson.
Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias.
What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand.
The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft.
Thieves, are they? These three?
No, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot.
2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime.
By Jove, you mean to say? What an extraordinary coincidence!
Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Oh my god, he has like even a crate.
Order! Order!
The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future.
With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to give these gents on the straight and narrow.
Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw.
Pt.2. Cause the Skulkin's never skulking.
Get out of it.
Yeah, I'm amazing the accent. I think Nash is. I'm trying to do like a.
Yeah, walking here, you gotta do that kind of. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the gas door was ajar, see?
It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in, it was.
But once we got inside, God blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room.
We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside.
We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet.
Maybe they are kind of going for that kind.
Yeah, you know, what you gonna do about it, you know?
Yeah, kind of like that.
A terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot?
The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within only the victim and the accused were found.
I must say it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witness now. And of course, counsel, if you please. Counsel?
Yes.
What's the matter, Rin? What's the matter, Rin, now?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense, because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Okay, so he says, we were walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and the door was ajar. So he was like, it was like some kind of sign for egging us to go in. But once he got into Icor Blimey Lummy, we heard a gunshot in the back room. We went to see what was what. The door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. So we can keep pressing, so we can see what else is up. Oh, that's the legal representation form. Let's see. So, our new evidence are the autopsy report. Instant death from Boone that was diagonally shot. Yep. Single bullet wound, upper half victim's back, no signs of trauma. And then near instant death, right? Instant death. Okay. Never mind. Okay, that looks correct. That's the floor plan. Okay. We might as well just press on every statement just to see if we can get anything off of these weirdos. The front door of Windybanks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this?
Must have been about 1, right, Ringo?
Yeah, I say so, right, Skulky? Shulky?
How would I know? The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town.
Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo?
Well, I'm not so sure, Ness. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky? Me old mucker.
Leave me alone. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
That is pure conjecture! Ha! Perhaps. But it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside.
Right, here's what happened. What happened? Hold it!
What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in?
Well, good motives in mysterious ways, they say, don't they, Ringo?
They do, Ness. They do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon.
Gods will often Oh, God's will. I'm dumb. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it?
It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that.
It weren't, Ness. It weren't. Like we said at the time.
You don't find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it.
It was exciting that our long-lost brother was inside.
They're not very good liars, are they?
Well, you can't deny it. He led us to a bloke what looks like our bruv.
Like I said, cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one? Are you sure about that?
Yep, just the one, Governor. I can swear to that.
It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bruv?
The firearm used belonged to the victim himself.
Yes, Mr. Windybank always used to leave his gun lying around in the counter.
Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds.
That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded.
That's true. I remember him saying that as well.
So, what we can say with considerable certainty, that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon.
Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful. Alright. Let's see. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door, that of the storeroom.
Of course, there was only a little oil lamp burning. Not much to see by.
The door was hidden behind a curtain, is all.
That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door?
Eh?
Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Oh, well, yeah. Your turn to rabbit, Ringo.
Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Alright. Somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night.
Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Alright, so let's see. What about this statement? You didn't do or take anything? Is that your story?
Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it?
It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out and Lucy lockets.
So, with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left? Nice and quietly, you say?
That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than violent, peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers.
We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out, my Lucy lockets.
So, you'd clearly like us to believe.
Hey, come again.
Oh, whoop. As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else?
And
And Did you not fire a gun at that person?
Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say?
Ah! Grrr. Blimey, governor. Oh, no, wait, sorry, wrong one.
Blimey, governor!
You're telling us it was you in the doorway?
It was. Oh, I mean, it was.
Why the bleeding Nora?
Oh, why the bleeding Nora?
Didn't you mention that?
Oh. You were armed with a gun! And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun! At London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes! They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually.
There was a rumor he'd been rushed to a hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale.
On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers.
Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder on the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence.
Firearm found in the position of the Skulkin brothers' mother rest. There are signs that a single round was fired also from this gun. Alright. Now, my learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial. Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there!
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windibanks that night.
The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night?
Pawnbroker perishes in pet purse plunder. How awful. Virginia, I mean.
But tomorrow's headline will be, "Discharged driver is dauntless do-gooder," right?
Yes, something like that. If possible, I'd like to go even bigger.
Bigger? How?
Proud pickpocket.
Oh god.
Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial, perhaps?
Protects planet?
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be so great.
Is that all they have to say? Is there anything else important on? What is this? Ah, yes, I must read my newspaper sideways. It makes more sense to me this way.
There's a sensational story lower down on the front page as well, look.
Ministry
Mole? Classified secrets? May have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news.
It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted? But how would somebody be doing that?
That's quite the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo?
No! Of course not! I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be. And it could explain why he has Gregsy running for pillar to post at the moment.
Government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. Okay, so that's not even like relevant to what I'm trying to do right now, but that's very interesting. Do I have evidence that they fired the gun? Single discharge and both. But do I have evidence that it was fired at the crime scene, I guess? Can I present this? Don't mind me, I'm just, being safe.
Take that!
Nope, that wasn't it. Oh. I mean, I'll just go with it. During the course of our investigations, we discovered... Oh, maybe it is, actually. During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do their job, do the job they're trained to do? How arrogantly Nipponese of you. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio.
And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein?
Yes, my lord.
No more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene?
Take that!
What is that? Explain!
It's a photographic print taken at Windybank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident.
From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? If my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there.
Yes, as your lordship noticed. The bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death.
The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot has been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th.
That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Yeah.
Order! Does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks?
If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? Nope, there it goes. But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup.
Well, you do. You weren't gonna get him into the details. Shut up, Socky. Set the bloke straight.
I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact.
To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks?
As has been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. Ah! In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all.
So that's it.
Well, they're trying, I think, in that handshake.
That's it! We didn't have nothing to do with it.
We didn't, yes, we didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalog, eh, fellows?
Eh?
We're in for it now, bruv.
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric? Says who?
Not me. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. Sorry. You installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop.
Oh. That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
What is that? What is it? Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption.
As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. Oh right, it's like a fuck ton because it's like every single half hour. Okay, so not much is happening in these so far. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Sorry.
Rather prodigal, I feel.
In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, the respective positions are here and here.
You say these cameras produce a print every half hour? I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help in the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals.
One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
That's a bit of friar tuck, eh, bruv?
Lucky Lady Lochlas is so goken. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
Eh? Must have been just after 1, right, bruv?
Must have been, Nash. Must have been. Yeah, just gone 1.
In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence.
Good Lord! It's the defendant! Miss Tina Lestrade!
That's incriminating. As the court can clearly see. The accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom.
Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded.
Kiro, welcome, welcome. Yeah, let's go!
The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel.
I don't believe it. Tinny.
In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank. Ah! I say, my lord. Who? Oh, him.
Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a better bullet to the knee in the Battle of Marwand, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, metal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman. And what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see. The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and one for one.
The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand?
Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garadub Squadron's position, sir.
What? No! It's too soon to—
Status report for the court, men, on the double.
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too. I think you'll find the truth is clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it.
I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember.
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very, very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter.
I think this is my favorite group of jurors. I mean,
Guilty.
there's a guy we've seen before, another lady we've seen before,
Guilty.
some guy who likes the stereoscope, the old man is back. She's now using a telegraph instead of a typewriter, and this is the freaking Russian guy from the boat that should have been, that was in the newspaper. I just can't believe this. It's so ridiculous. Oh man.
It does appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already.
That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned.
But Jenny didn't shoot him.
No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. There we go, you did it right away.
Very well. The court grants permission.
So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How
Unsurprising.
We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready?
Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Alright, here we go.
All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketing.
As a housemaid, I should like to see all 50 eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out.
If I have left it in there, I should think there will be repercussions by now.
Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow. Stop.
In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent.
The circumstance of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively.
The storeroom locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses.
Not to mention this print. Taken from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. The young girl's on the verge of pulling the belly trigger.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes.
Out there. Halley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder.
I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you.
But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. Which means there's more to this situation than we've yet to see.
Agreed.
You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination.
Just frickin' Mario and Luigi in the background. I am gonna immediately press the old man because every time it's been useful. What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that.
Ah, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon.
A surgeon? That totally passed me by.
Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors, oh no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains are in the field.
So, what is it that you think you've left behind?
Well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing, went through the abdomen. But when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere.
What? Did he? Surely not.
Exactly! Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? Oh, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really.
That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter.
It's exactly my concern. And seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure.
I'm sure you need to be more sure. Oh god, poor Sholmes. If that, oh god, the implications of that is pretty bad. I don't know, can you tell us more, Miss Telegraph Lady? Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean?
Are you from the Far East? Stop.
Yes, from the Empire of Japan.
All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram. So we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it.
You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop.
And just when I was starting to catch up.
Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to four corners of globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop.
Right. Try not to wear out your fingers.
Era of wireless technology. Stop. Driving technological revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Sir. Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming about her insulting your entire lifestyle and life and love and... But, you know, we gotta get going.
What?
Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess.
Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on. I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me?
I think you just might be, yes.
You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions? Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional.
She's telling you to touch grass, sir. What a great way to appease the man.
No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all.
Hi, Popo. Welcome, welcome.
You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate.
What sort of possibilities?
Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you've never even noticed before.
What?
Have you got any right now? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope?
Technically we do. How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. Wait, there's 2 cameras at 2 different angles. Oh my god! Are we gonna stereoscope this photo? Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints?
Of course I can.
Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate.
I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Oh, I don't have another print. Fuck. Shit. I think I'm supposed to come to this later. You know what's a great stereoscopic print? This. Wait, sorry? What do you mean, one more print?
How dare. Don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? No, now.
What?
You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? No, one for the left eye, one for the right.
Oh. Oh yes. I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbroker is just a normal photograph.
No. I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints.
Thanks for the friendly explanation.
Well, if we obtain another print at some other point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. Ha ha ha!
I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me.
Let's get things back on track, shall we, Council?
Alright, so someone is going to tell me something regarding the other photo. And I gotta look for... Okay, I have a feeling if I press Juror 1, it's gonna bring up the photograph. Because he's clearly talking about how it's pretty set in stone for the thing. You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garadeb. Oh. Aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this.
Ah, you're that loyal chap. Well, there's a turn-up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then.
Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. Oops, sorry, I have to answer a message real quick. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously. I wouldn't be suggesting that, therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything.
Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garadab house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out and I couldn't get a baliseur to take up the tenancies.
Oh.
Haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the girls all clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot. But not for us, that's for dashed certain.
I suppose not.
Of course, there can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously.
Obviously. But honestly, I really wish he'd paid more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. Oh. Oh, because she's a maid. Polishing the bench, I see. Again.
A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain.
What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores?
On my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick-pursers, and crossmen, the scum of the earth.
A little harsh, perhaps.
Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals.
You're referring to Sherlock Sholmes?
That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rant's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital.
Mr. Sholmes? A maid?
It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective.
Minor detail. It was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant.
A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway.
Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement.
Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. They should swing for shooting the great detective. Oh, she wants them to hang. I see. Fun. What's Preston?
Hold it!
Sorry, something came up. Please tell me you're not villain Bolshevik? The Russian revolutionary?
Revolutionary?
Da, I believe there is such a rumor.
It's just a rumor?
As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal, no?
Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out.
People call me revolutionary murderer, autocrat.
And which glove fits?
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please.
Right. That didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts.
To be treated like vicious animal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look.
Oh god, I'm saying weird French also. The Skulkin brothers?
Da. Maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. But they've done nothing wrong. That is all I want to say.
The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night. Alright, well, first of all, that's one not-so-little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris.
What is it, Reno?
The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they?
Yes. It's amazing, isn't it?
In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary?
I wish I knew.
If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over.
But we know Ginny would never shoot anyone.
Yes, we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence.
All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocket.
However, So she's saying they should hang. And he's saying, we never judge anybody. Gonna sleep, good night. Hey, alright, have a good night, Kiro. Thank you, I'll have fun. I'm gonna try to get through this, and then another part on Thursday, and then on Friday we can go through the rest. It'll be great.
Hold it!
Oh, I didn't want to press. I wanted the pit. I wanted the pit. I wanted the pit. No, I'm gonna get K-Pord. I'm gonna get K-Pord. Yep, I'm getting K-Pord. K-Pord. Kapora. I'm getting owled. Okay. Okay. Let's pit, please.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good Lord, Council! Explain yourself!
Oh my. My statement? Contradictory?
Contradicte.
Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick.
I do not have stick. I have mouse.
As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver.
Yes. They shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand.
Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear.
Abdomen.
Sir?
Sorry, my English is still learning.
You are telling the court you didn't hear. Didn't hear?
Forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word. Abdomen. Part of bad person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker.
Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again?
So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before, we never done nothing, but truth is they shot detective? This is double negative.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by person who looks like criminal.
Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced.
This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is that true?
Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so...
Enough! I trust no one now!
It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir.
I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself.
I'm afraid that's...
Yes, it is, Bruno. Easily.
Sorry?
With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder. If you compare the prints that... The print that pictures Dinny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Gooey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Tut tut. Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and
Summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later after the brothers' flight.
So,
God.
So, this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell. Nothing has been taken.
That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print.
So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing.
It would seem so, yes.
Good.
No, not good.
You are right. I did not understood situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial.
Oh. Okay. How nice of you.
Yay! Well done, Reno. The balance is shifting.
Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors were saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we might just turn the situation into our favor still.
Thank you, Counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence.
Ooh, okay. Another print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. Okay, so I do have 2 prints now. And yes, they're the same picture. But what would pop out in between these? Is anything missing, I wonder? Doesn't seem to be. Other than the people. Well, the guy's gonna put the photos together, so I guess we'll see. Can it really show up new clues, though?
Don't know unless you try.
How about this print here? It should do the trick, I think. Okay, so we're gonna present this one.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints?
Of course I can.
Very well then. I'd like you to demonstrate.
I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Alright, these 2 prints were both taken with the same camera in Windibanks on the night in question.
Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle?
Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday, and twice in fact. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the 2 images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth.
Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the 2 pictures that's really important.
So, what happens if you use 2 photographs that are exactly the same then?
No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene 3-dimensionally anyway. Oh! Oh! Of course, now I see. I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have.
Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me?
Have another look at these 2 pictures from Hurley's camera, Bruno. Go on. Can you see that there's a really obvious difference between them?
Of course there is. There are 2 people in the first and no people in the second. I'm looking as hard as I can and I can't tell. Oh no, the lamp's broken.
Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions.
Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then you have to make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Yep, I'm crossing my eyes, and yep, straight up is the lamp. Wait.
Well, did you manage to see it properly, Reno?
Yes, I saw it! Ugh! What's going on with these 2 pictures? Some of the things on the counter they sort of jump out at you. Oh, I guess there's that too.
Yes, 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 that's it, you see. That's the other amazing power stereoscopes.
Other amazing power?
Is someone going to explain this black magic? Eh? Why the deuce do some of these things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that, huh?
I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before, if you try to look at 2 identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see pictures 3-dimensionally.
In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the 2 pictures, this shows that actually that there must have been a slight shift in their positions.
Yes, there must have been.
Now, hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eye business now, I'd say. But why the devil does this shift between the 2 prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master.
What? Me? I haven't the first idea.
You know, Bruno, it's quite simple.
It is?
Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 AM. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means...
That means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter.
Suckers!
Someone tampered? New information, stop! Not mentioned in testimony so far, stop!
Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is now clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom?
Are you suggesting you might know?
Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. Is it either of them? What? Who's responsible for the shift? Quite clearly, it was the work of this meddler.
I'm afraid you've digressed there, Consul.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh. It should now be clear even to you who is responsible for the impeachable shift in the directions of this trial toward the absurd. Let me guess. Me? Shift aside, my Nipponese friend, and let the real lawyers do the talking. Ugh, really felt that one. Someone who was in Wendy Banks when everything was going on, doesn't it? Well, yes, that's true. So... that narrows it down quite a lot, I think. Alright, so... this is gonna be the first time I'm doing this, but I just know that this is really long, so... don't mind me.
Take that!
It was the witnesses currently... okay, so it lets you present either, I guess. That's really weird. Okay. Sorry, hold on, give me a sec. It was the witnesses currently in the stand. The Skulkin brothers!
Wait. This does not agree with what brother said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull ducks from Lucy Lockets. My phrase book says ducks is meaning hands and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you're saying?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Now, hold on there a minute. You can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal.
I think that's unlikely.
And why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windybank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have admitted key facts in their testimony.
But the accused is a pick purse. Common gutter trash. Why look any further in for the wrongdoer here?
Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No, better. In fact, worse than a pick purse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by these two thieves?
Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair.
Okay. God damn it.
Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop! Must purchase after trial. Stop! Will return home via Regent Street. Stop!
This crazy lady.
Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus, and I order this trial to continue.
Yay! Well done! Oh, by the way,
What?
you should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might come in useful.
Twice in one trial would be unusual. Surely. But alright. Scarab scope. Okay. Maybe this is where... This will come in later. And we have to use the other camera's photos or something. And it's like a slightly different angle.
Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimonies from them.
I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. Alright. That's part 1 of the trial done for this today. And with that, we can end tonight's stream and be ready for part 2 on Thursday. Alright. Alright, so 1 hour 40 down. So I'm expecting the part 2 to be about as long. So that'll be about 3 hours. And then I guess Kiro and I will be covering the last 4 or 3 hours on Friday. Exciting. Yeah, so we covered a little bit of the trial. I'm expecting the stereoscope is definitely going to come into use again. But my guess is that we're going to use the second photo from the other angle that appears on the other camera that's in the shop. So we'll see if that actually plays out or not. I'm very curious and to see if that's how it plays out, but yeah. So Thursday will be the next stream for this. It'll be about half hour later start. I do stuff on Thursdays, so I have to get through all that routine first before I can start. But we'll get through part 2 then. And then, like I said, parts 3 and 4 on Friday with Kiro. Okay. So let us see if anybody's alive. Because it's Tuesday and it's during the work week and I don't know if people are still streaming or whatever. So I do see Beb. Who is playing Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade right now. So I'll leave you all in Beb's hands. And I hope you all had a good time tonight. Since it's a shorter session than normal, I'm able to keep up my energy a little bit more. But yeah, I'll see you guys again on Thursday. Alright, have a good rest of your night, and have a good time at Beb's.